Hello, my creepies.
Hey, my ghouls. How are we? How we doing? Happy New Year. Hello, Road Crusher. Hi, Canadian Simmer. Hi, Brian. Hi, RCA. Hi, Whitey. How are we this evening? Good screaming. I hope you guys are having a good time. That wheel always shows itself, man. How are you doing, Professor Macabo? How are you? Hey, Deadwalk. How are you? Haha. Deadwalk. How are you doing? How is everybody doing on this hump day? Not too bad. You went to play pinball. Nice, dude. I love pinball. We're just getting ourselves situated for Coffin Chat. How you doing, Canadian? How's your day going? Hi, Carlos. How are you? We are doing good. We are live on our normal platforms. Can't complain. How's you, Ra? I'm good. I can't complain. I got everything figured out and situated and yay, you know. I figured you enjoy the Elvira games. I love pinball. I would love to own a pinball machine. Definitely. How you doing, Steve? How's your day going? Hopefully you guys will get to see both TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch chat on the overlay. Hopefully it's readable. We will see. Hi, Miss Queenie. How are you? It says for how are you? How was your New Year's? How was your holidays? Did you have a good one? Tonight is Coffin Chat. So that is our just chatting show where we discuss horror fandom, my horror fandom. You guys are more than welcome to join in the conversation. By all means, join in tonight. You guys voted last Coffin Chat of 2023. You guys voted for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 1 fandom. So this is what we're discussing tonight. It was boring. How was yours? Mine was quiet. We stayed in, watched the movies. Hello, thank you. Yes, I am, Professor. I'm good, Rye. I'm missing snow. We have some snow. Hi, Paul. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great holiday. My friend bought me 2 games. That is what horror games, Miss Queenie?
ReAnimateHer.
Hi, Stormy. How are you? Happy New Year. I hope you had a great horror day. Yes, we are. We do stream on TikTok. We stream on YouTube and Twitch for Coffin Chat. We also stream some of our video gameplay here on TikTok as well. Might get Snow Monday here. Oh, we're probably gonna get snow. Hello, Monkey Van Meowerton. How are you? How is work? How is Timon? Did you have a good New Year's, Stormy? I say, you know, my content. Oh, Billy, thank you so very much for the follow over on TikTok. Really appreciate it when you follow me over there. Shit gets electrifying. Slender Arrival, and the second one is Choo Choo Charlie. Oh, I heard a lot about Choo Choo Charlie. Sora sleeping in meh. I got you. Yeah, it was relaxing. Same here. We didn't do much. We visited the spawn over Christmas. It was great. But yeah. How are we doing here? Hopefully you guys can see all chats. It looks like I have to fix some things, so it's good. Hi, Ashley girl. How are you? Thank you guys. Thank you. It's quite fun. Botan, hi. How are you? Yeah, we are supposed to get snow. It's slightly snowing. It was slightly snowing, very lightly. Nothing crazy here in Alberta. And then yes, that is awesome, Botan. How does it feel? How does it fit? How does it look? I have been lazy for the 2 weeks I have been off, and there's nothing wrong with that, Ashley girl. I am fabulous. It's chilly here. It's in the minuses here, Celsius wise, and we're going to be getting snow, and then next week we're going to be hitting like minus 30 temps. Hi, Anu. How are you? You sexy Canadian whiskey bottle. I'm good, Anu. How are you? Right now I'm playing Devil May Cry 4 and Dante Must Die, and later playing Dead by Daylight as Albert Wesker. Nice, Road Crusher. That's awesome. Amazing. I love it so much. That's awesome. By the way, guys, the next sub giveaway for this t-shirt right there is going to be January 27th. So you have to be a sub before that day, and you will get entered in for that t-shirt. So far, we only have one giveaway so far. Botan is the only one with that HORDE shirt right there. You can't obtain it any other way. So you can either obtain it by winning the sub giveaway or being on Fourth Wall. That is the only way you can get that shirt. Is that exclusive? Can't get it anywhere else. What game should I stream? Whatever you like, Miss Queenie. I should probably snap up some of the DLC. Yeah, right, Deadwalk. They're going to be doing that whole thing, spreading some love on TikTok as well. Sadly, can't do two. It's all good, Professor. It's all good. I'm happy regardless of wherever you want to watch us. I'm cool with whatever. I don't expect everybody to be on all platforms either. Like, you catch me on one, catch me on the other, whatever's easy for you. Oh yeah, we also have new emotes, guys. Yeah, you like that? Do you love that emote? It's a little ghost face twerking. Hello, Stay Tappin'. How are you? Happy hump day. I'm happy this month because my birthday is this month. Nice, Road Crusher. We have a whole bunch of new emotes over on Twitch. We have one new emote over on YouTube just because I don't have a lot of emo slots on YouTube, where on Twitch I have a shit ton. So we have a whole bunch of new emotes and things that I've been working on. It would take a miracle to get me on social media. Yeah, that it would. We also got the booty shaking among us. It doesn't sound like it's coming through twice. I think I may have fixed it. Yeah, look at all the new little emotes we have. Good evening, Maeve. How are you? I have been working on things last night. Okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We know it was released in 1974. We know that this is my second favorite franchise ever. I know that my fandom is different than other people's fandom, and I honestly do believe, even though nowhere in the lore is Leatherface said to be supernatural. However, if you've watched the films, you know he's had mortal wounds in 1 and in 2 and technically should be dead, but for some reason he survives his mortal wounds. My favorite scary movie? How you doing? I have way too many. I have way too many favorite films. So my top favorite scary films: Friday the 13th, Part 1, 2, and 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Part 1 and 2. Jason X is another one. Evil Dead, Grotesque. I have tons of favorite films. Hello, Quindy. How are you? Hi, Maeve over on the purple side. But yeah, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he does have a big booty, Quindy. That's a big booty poppin' Among Us character. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is the correct answer. Hello, Gen X. Nightmare 3 is my favorite out of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Dream Warriors. I mean, how can you beat that? Obviously, the first Freddy is awesome. The first Nightmare on Elm Street's awesome, but Dream Warriors, man, that's all I have to say is Dream Warriors. But with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it is my second favorite franchise, and that is what we're going to discuss tonight, is some of my fandom on what I think about Leatherface, the Sawyer family. Actually, the Sawyer family, they're not known to be the Sawyer family right off the bat, and as you know, in the first film, technically, their name is presumed to be Slaughter because of the gas station, but we do know that it was also a play on words when it was written in the original screenwrite and not as their full last name. But then it comes into play. We've got like 3 different fucking names. We've got Slaughter, we've got Sawyer, and we've got Hewitt. And Dawkins does the song. Yes, they do, Anu. Dead, Alive, or any Trauma film are also acceptable answers. Yeah, Trauma is great. Trauma is in its own thing. You know what I mean? Trauma is in its own field. I don't put Trauma in the horror genre. It's its own fucking genre. Like, to me, trauma is its own genre in itself. Mind you, they do have horror movies, obviously. Blood-sucking freaks. There is a lot of oh, I should actually pause that so I'm not using all my internet there. Oof. But yeah, it's in its own rights. I don't put it with horror. Dead Alive is a great movie. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But they also have Cannibal, the musical. That they do. Being a cannibal, maybe Leatherface taps into the Wendigo energy and heals like in Ravenous. Professor Macabre, that's not a bad idea. And I know nowhere in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre lore do we ever see Bubba as supernatural, and we don't. However, just for some reason, Bubba doesn't seem to die from his mortal wounds. And yes, I know he doesn't become Bubba until part 2, but Bubba is what I like to call him. And in the first one, when you first see TCM, you don't see the family as being the victim. I honestly believe the entire family is a victim. Victim of the society that they lived in, a victim of mental health. And I know you don't seem that. Hello, 8-Bit Ray. How are you? Next Generation? Yeah, I like all of them. I really enjoy the TCM franchise. It does get a little wild. I mean, don't get me wrong. TCM does get wild. You know, we have how many different timelines? We have 3. And then we have the one where he has a granddaughter living at the grandma's house, right? So there's like so many different storylines. Rule 1 of TCM, the canon is about as reliable as the Phantasm canon. Yeah. If we go... Hello, Serial Killer! Hello, Serial. How are you doing? I believe he's immortal. You can't live... No, I agree with you. That's what I was saying. Even though in the TCM lore, we do not see anything supernatural. Nothing is stated that he is supernatural anywhere in the timeline of his lore, no matter what lore you look at. Now... his wounds that he did receive definitely would be mortal wounds. He definitely would. He would have died from several of those wounds, especially being blown the fuck up. He would have died, but he keeps coming back. So I do believe he's immortal somewhere, somehow. Not sure what, but I do believe he is. Gen X, thank you so much for that 5-stream streak. That is amazing. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you for that hype streak there as well. He survived a meat grind. He survived numerous things where he should have been dead. And 8-Bit Ray, I do. Leatherface is something. I love Leatherface. Bubba is like Michael and just does not die. TC is a masterpiece, but 2 and Next Generation are so batshit insane that they are fun watches. I love Part 2. Part 2 is my favorite. Not only do we get to see Chop Top pop up in there, we get more lore. We also get to see Bubba falling in love for the first time with Stretch. I mean, that is pretty fucking awesome. I don't give a fuck what that clown of a writer says. The last name is Sawyer, no Slaughter, so fuck those clowns. Yeah, I'm not even talking about the game there, Serial. I've been talking about just the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 film and my fandom of it. Technically, in the first film, there is nothing that really states Sawyer. The only thing that you really do get to see as a names are Drayton, Leatherface, Nubbins, the hitchhiker, and then you get to see the gas station where it says W.E. Slaughter. So a lot of people assume that the family's name is Slaughter. The Texas Chainsaw OG is one of my favorites. Same here, JTOC. I love TCM. I love that TCM 2 is basically Tobe making the movie they accused him of making in TCM 1. I find 2 to be more comedic than 1, which I really liked, and not comedic like in like Tucker and Dale vs. Evil or Shaun of the Dead kind of comedic. It's more of a dark comedy, and I love the fact that Leatherface in Part 2 is wearing his dead brother. I love the fact that he's wearing nubbins. You're all good, JT. Part 2 is top tier as overall film, but atmosphere 100% go to 1974. There was no film made like that before, and you will not get a film made like that after, even in TCM 2. The second movie has all the same characters, including Nubbins, and the last name is revealed as Sawyer. Yes, it is. However, this is not really a deep dive into TCM. This is my fandom into TCM, so it's what I feel what I got out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you guys are more than welcome to input whatever information you guys want to do as well. I do love the off-screen humor of TCM1. Look what your brother did to the damn door. Yeah, there is some comedy relief inside TCM1, but two, there is a heavier, dark comedy element to that. The violence was over the top to the point where it was slapstick absurd. And Nubbins is in the second one. He's actually on top of Leatherface. Leatherface is wearing him as a bodysuit when they are on the bridge going after that car with the two boys in it, right? That's Nubbins. Leatherface is wearing Nubbins. Off topic, but 2024 has already started to be a hell of a year. I'm in a good way, of course, just by being able to surprise my parents with a barbecue smoker on New Year's Day and the release for music and horror films. Nice and new. Yeah, when they're on the bridge. I know it isn't really a horror movie, but I love American Psycho. Well, American Psycho is a horror movie. Everybody seems to get confused with horror. Horror, really, anything could be a horror film. They put a horror genre, but in really anything that makes you disturbed, disgust, frightened, scared, it makes you anxious. That it really can be any film that can really be put under the horror. But the horror genre, like the genre, the category that they put it in, is more of a thriller. But it is a horror. I mean, American Psycho is definitely a horror. A smoker, yeah, that's nice. Nice and new. The RE7 dinner scene is almost, well, that's where they got it from, JT. If you don't mind, I'm going to call you JT. The in Biohazard Resident Evil 7, that whole scene, that whole thing is inspired by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thriller is a genre under horror umbrella. That it is. It's also its separate genre, right? That's also the thriller. Then you've got your drama, your comedy, but thrillers are also in there. Horror is a huge umbrella of categories, if you think about it. You got your top 6, and then inside those top 6, you have numerous sub-genres inside of those genres. I think horror is the biggest genre compared to any other genre. I think it's a huge fucking umbrella. Awesome. The Outboss is a great smoker, and they even have Bluetooth. Oh, the Pit Boss? I don't have one. Leatherface in Mortal Kombat was a perfect fit. Yes, that was an X, right? I know they had Jason Voorhees in X. I liked X. My name is Tyler. It's nice to meet you. Hi, Tyler. You can call me Ra or Cat, however you like. To see what the one movie that got me to jump one time was The Exorcist Believer. I didn't mind The Exorcist Believer. What I do to the toilet in the morning is definitely a horror. Nobody needs to know that. But I do believe the family is a victim. The whole fucking family is a victim. Just a victim of society, the way they live, the fact that the slaughterhouse moved from manual slaughter, which what Grandpa was like the master slaughter, right? And then Grandpa was no longer part of the slaughterhouse because the slaughterhouse started going to more of an automated thing. I'm not sure what the fuck that is, but hello. Ross should get one of those smokers for her cannibal cookout so she can listen to the Merkins while she cooks, right? You're buying a new smoker this year? Nice, Serial. That's awesome. Oh, MK11. Oh, yeah. I own both of them. I prefer MKX over 11, to be honest with you. I liked the quickness of X compared to 11. I'm not really a big fan of 11. And no, I did not get Mortal, the new one. Whatever the hell that is, I didn't get that one either. But I really do enjoy the Mortal Kombat X. But yes, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they did a lot of really cool things with the way the movie was shot, the visuals of the camera, you know, point down from down low, pointing up, really gave that atmosphere, the sounds that they used. And yeah, I couldn't imagine the smell. I've seen so many documentaries on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the smell from that, you got to think about it. If that was, and it was real, they were filming it, right? So all of the dead carcasses, the hot heat in Texas, all bring on a really nasty, nasty ass smell. So in real life, yeah, I could see that being so fucking gross. I didn't hate the Netflix TCM, but since it wasn't too well received, do you think we will get a new? I'm hoping we do, Professor. I actually really enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I fucking loved it. I enjoyed the fact that it was a direct sequel to the part 1, where a lot of people forget that it was a direct sequel to. I mean, we have technically 3 direct sequels. We have part 2, part 3, and Fede Alvarez's 2022. They're all considered sequels, even though Texas Chainsaw Massacre part 3 is part 3. Technically, it is a direct sequel to 1, but it just turns out it was the 3rd one in the chapter. You got to feed Grandpa to keep his strength up? That you do. Predator was your main, JT? Nice. I like Grandpa. I mean, it's sad that you don't really get to see Grandma until later on. Like, you don't really get to see Grandma until later on in the chapters. And then you get to see more of the Sawyer family. They don't become the Hewitts until later on, when in the other timeline of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I have people argue with me about the fact that I feel that the family... the whole family, yes, they were murdering people, but they murdered people that trespassed on their property. So for me, when I first watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was really blown away by it. I seen it when I was young. I rented it from the VHS shop, and seeing it for the first time, it was definitely fucking scary. It blew me away. And every time we would go with my grandparents to upstate New York, it reminded me of it. It reminded me, because there's lots of forestry where my grandparents built their cabin. There was no neighbors. Like, your neighbors was like a mile, 2 miles out, so nobody would hear you friggin' scream. And you're surrounded by deep forestry. And it's really dark up there because it's in an area that is not developed. So the street is a dirt street. There is no pavement there. Still to this day, there's no pavement. It is a dirt street. Only very few houses are on that block. And yeah, you don't get a lot of shit. Like, you don't get a lot of things and not a lot of traffic. So it's quite scary out there. And every time I seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Friday the 13th, those 2 movies really got into my psyche when we would go up into upstate New York. My babysitter said, you can watch Looney Tunes or this. Hello, it's Mr. Scott. How are you? Chop Top was your favorite TCM besides Bubba? Chop Top comes in part 2, and yeah, he's one of my favorites as well. I love the way Bill Moseley portrayed Chop Top. Yeah, right, Quinty? You know, you watch these films and then you go on these trips or whatever, and as a kid, it sticks with you because these are things that I haven't really seen before. You know, I seen TCM before I believe it was before I was a full-grown teenager. Hi, Bobby. How are you? I love that horror is one of the rare genres where people mention the villains as their favorite character pretty much any time the hero isn't Bruce Campbell. Very, very true. Yes, we are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're actually talking about the our fandom, my fandom, to be exact. And everybody is welcome to chime in to the fandom and what they think. This is not a debate. It's just basically us talking about what we think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about. Well, since we are getting a Damien prequel, why not TCM prequel focusing on Grandpa? I think that would be cool. I think that I would like to see a bit more. Grandpa was cool. Chip in Serial Mom loves TCM. I love the movie Serial Mom. That was a pretty awesome movie. I haven't seen that in a while. Hello, Ray of Effing Sunshine. So do I. And that's the topic for tonight. We're just discussing our fandom, what we think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what we think about Leatherface. You're still waiting on my snow delivery. You can have it all. Actually, we've had a very little snow where I live. It's January and we're just getting into the cold weather. Mine was a curiosity born from seeing the original VHS cover in a catalog at the video rental store. I think I was 10. Mr. Scott, that's how I seen it as well. In the video store, all you see was, and I have the poster behind me that was on the actual VHS box. Now, there's a few different covers depending on where you were, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre was also banned in other countries when it came out. Evil Dead is part of the TCM lore via the comic and Easter eggs. I don't count comic books as part of the lore because anybody can write a comic book and boom. Same thing with Freddy versus Jason versus Ash Williams. It's a whole different universe when you come into comics, right? They just write a comic and you throw Evil Dead in there. I know there are people who are arguing that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is part of the Evil Dead, and I will argue with that because it's comic book, not part of the actual film itself. But I do get that people like to say Evil Dead is part of TCM. Franklin was an annoying whiner, and I'm glad he died. There's my opinion. I hated Franklin. Franklin was my most... I don't like Franklin. The rest of the characters weren't bad, but yeah, I wanted Franklin to die. I was like, yes, baby. When he was dying, I was loving it. Even on my first watch, I was loving it. Enjoy your lurk, Pat. Yeah, the VH cover I saw was the drawing of Leatherface holding the saw with Sally's eyes in the background. Nice. I'm currently working on a Friday the 13th painting and I haven't gotten far with it yet. Nice, Road. I was wondering, did the hitchhiker really cut himself or was it fake? Well, in the movie, it's fake. Like, he didn't really cut himself. He didn't cut himself. Everything is that you see for the most part, like the blood. There was some injuries on set, though. There was some injuries on the set of TCM 74. I know you don't recognize the Chucky lore tie-ins for any of them either. No, because comic books are comic books. Anybody can write a comic, right? And then add in, I can write my own comic. It may not be published anywhere, but then I can write in all my lore where I join all of the villains into the fucking universe. He is easy to hate. I mean, who wouldn't? There's a lot of people that I find in horror films that I'm glad that when they die. I was a friend from high school who first showed me the movie. I lost that friend in 2003, so I always associate the movie and my memories with him. Oh, rest in peace, Lee. You would love to write a book? You should, Serial. I feel like the game needs to add him in, but it would be difficult, I think, with the wheelchair. I think with the wheelchair, it would be kind of hard. Not the comics, the relics of other killers in one of the Chucky movies. Oh, okay, Gen X. I had a Leatherface comic back in elementary school and got in trouble for bringing it. Yeah, horror back then was frowned upon. It really was frowned upon. I believe one actor got hurt when Leatherface used the mallet. There was a few injuries. Nothing major on the TCM set, but there was a couple of injuries. But yeah, when I seen it for the first time as a kid, it literally blew me away. I'd never seen anything like that before. Mind you, I was preteen, and the movies that I seen before that were a lot of classic monsters, Friday the 13th, The Exorcist. And when you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there is no other film out there that... At that point in time, we're talking about late 80s, that was out, that had that kind of atmosphere. Snowfall Wolf 558, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. You still have your Dr. Giggles? I love Dr. Giggles. The very first TCM I saw was the 2003 remake, and it was the first horror movie that truly scared me. The remake is good. I think the remake is just as good as the first one. It didn't have the same atmosphere as the first one, obviously, and it didn't have the same effect. However, it was still nail biting to me. I think the remake of TCM is fucking done well. I will say there's only very few remakes in the horror genre that are done very well, and that one is definitely good. Accident, did someone give Ross scissors again? I didn't get into an accident. The intro just makes you think it was real. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. The whole thing, even the first one, you're listening to it and you're watching it. Remember back then you didn't have the internet, right? TCM when I was like 7 didn't mess me up nearly as bad as the bathtub scene from The Shining. I still have nightmares. See, the bathtub scene it didn't scare me, but I was like, what the fuck was that in that bathtub? They did create a character in Friday the 13th, the game, that wasn't released, and he worked well. Jessica Biel was half in that one? What does that mean? Hot? Are you trying to say hot in that one? The original Grandpa SFX makeup is so cool to me. What they were doing back in the day with special effects. I'm not a fan of the remakes overall, but TCM was great. Yeah, I love TCM. It's such a good one. Dawn of the Dead 78 is also one of my favorites. They were supposed to make a Bubba vs. Jason vs. Ash movie. Yeah, because that's also a comic. I knew him as Dan from Night Court as a kid. John Larroquette. Yep, so did I. And it was John Larroquette's voice is so iconic in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hot as fuck. Okay, I'm not really. Yeah, okay. I don't know this fucking kid lingo. Serial killer. You gotta adult lingo with me. I don't live with the Spawn anymore, so I'm not down with the new lingo. I think Leatherface is such a misunderstood character. He really is, Ray. He's a victim in all of it. I think the whole family is a victim. However, they are the villain in the story, right? They are the villain in the story. We got an ad break over here on Twitch, so we're just going to chill on the Leatherface chat here while Twitch finishes their ad break for 1 minute and 18 seconds. Hello, Aaron. How are you? He is nice. I wouldn't say Leatherface is completely nice. I will say that he is misunderstood with the mental health issues, like tons of mental health issues. And yeah, Ray, I do agree. You can't help but feel sympathy for him because he's berated and beat up by his family on top of everything that he has going on for him. Cereal. Only by a couple of months, 2 months, if that. Not even 2 months. Not even 2 months. Maybe 2 months, but not even. So don't give me that old shit. You still live with your spawns. I should say your spawns still live with you. By the way, Cereal, we have new emotes. So of course they're going to be using that lingo. I don't have any youngins with me anymore. Well, you got to think about it. He's like a hunter, right? Like a hunter. You're hungry. You need to eat. People are trespassing. It's Texas. I like the scene when Bubba was using the speaking spell. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I just adopted a rescue puppy. I forgot it's just another baby to poop and make a mess. Definitely wicked, definitely. But congratulations on your new puppy. Animals are just like babies. You always got to take care of them. Bottom line, it's the kid's fault. Exactly, it's Mr. Scott. I know it's the 70s, and I know back then people didn't lock their doors and, you know, everybody free love and all this happy horse shit, but you're in Texas. You're walking on property. Everybody's got guns. You really got to ask yourself, do I really want to open up the door and walk into someone's house? No, I would not. But it is the kid's fault, you know? They walked on. Have a good night, JT. It was nice meeting you as well. But you can't blame the family for these kids walking on the property. If they didn't, you know, stop the vehicle to go take a look and reminisce about things, they would not have been in this predicament and they would have been on their way, right? But they decided to stop. And shit ensued. Yeah, the cook warned him. Yeah. Well, if you look at them at it from Leatherface's point of view, he was scared. Oh, of course he was, son. Definitely. Like I said, I think the family is the victim here. But obviously in the movie, when it's created, the family is not meant to be the victim when you first see it. When you first see the movie, you're like, holy shit, what the hell? And when I first seen it, there was nothing out there like this. Mind you, nothing like Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I actually seen it. So there was just so much came at you. And the fact that you really didn't get to see any of the blood and guts on the scene, where your mind was able to create what was happening on those off-scene screams and chainsaw sounds. Cannibal, thank you so very much for your stream streak. 20 fucking 5? Holy shitballs. Exactly, Deadwalk. Holy shitballs, Cannibal. Thank you for your 25 stream streak. I appreciate it. I'm always on the killer side in any horror movie. I like the killers in the horror movies as well. But not all of them are victims. Was never hip with the lingo in all my years on Earth. The only lingo I can master is the horror talk. That is a record. Definitely Deadwalk. That is a friggin' record. TCM, Black Christmas, Halloween defined the 70s horror for me. Peeping Tom. Yeah, Peeping Tom was like, what, 69? No, 60. 60, I think, which is before Psycho. But yeah, the 70s had a lot of great horror hits, though. They really did. Serial is not hip with anything. Even the killers in I Spit on Your Grave. Those guys, those guys are just horrible people. They're not victims. They're assholes. Suck tits monkey. Okay, but the killer in Headless. Oh my God, the killer in Headless, total victim. Total victim. I've got big balls. Hey, Zach, how are you? But definitely balls of them all. But yes, Headless, he's definitely a victim of emotional abuse, mental abuse by a woman, right? I think it's so important that we lack a lot of that in our movies as well. A lot of the times, in Headless, the mother is the horrible person here who raised a horrible daughter who in turn both teased and beat up the main character in Headless. If you guys haven't seen the movie Headless, it's one of my favorites. Check it out. If you don't like extreme films, shocking and disturbing genre, then don't watch it, but definitely watch it. I was talking about Headless today on Twitter with somebody. Secretos. You're driving and lurking after boxing. Sorry to interrupt. Don't apologize to interrupt. You're always welcome to interrupt. Dan called me today. He bought us Christmas presents. Yeah. How is Dan? She's driving, so she won't see that. But She Kratos Serial is asking, how's my favorite letter person today? Lies. She ain't sorry. No. She is. She's like, I'm interrupting bitches. And it's fine. I like the theme song and I like what my lights do when She Kratos comes in. But yeah, with the Bubba, with Leatherface and his family, you can definitely tell in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre how brutal his family is. I mean, look at Drayton Sawyer. And I mean, Hitchhiker in himself, he's got lots of issues, right? Lots of friggin' issues. And they all just seem to pick on Bubba, even though Nubbins isn't as bad as Drayton, because Drayton is pretty bad. So, nah, she is. She's not like you, monkey. But we don't. Yeah, dumbass. How did we get on this topic? But yes, we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm turning off the heat because the other heat came on as well, and I don't need to be dying over here. Okay, so with Leatherface, we definitely know he has numerous handicaps, right? And when you first watch it, that didn't come across to me. Like when I first seen TCM. Oh, I've got to move that. Oh, I got to move that. Why is that there and not here? Thanks for doing that on this overlay. I've got to fix that. But anyways, thanks for the shout out for Serial there, monkey. It actually showed me that I have to move the shout out scene, which I just did. I just moved it. Anyways, just make the shout out not able to happen, Ra. I can't. If they type in your username, it's gonna happen. I don't know how to stop that. Even if you didn't have your auto shout out, I'm not sure how one would stop that. Oh, the new Firebot is supposed to be coming out on Friday, by the way. Off topic, but Firebot has a beta out, and the beta fixes a lot of things. It's like Firebot V6, and that's coming out on Friday. You'll create a command for me, but you still stream here and there, so don't worry about the shout out. But yes, I don't believe that there's, so like in Friday the 13th, remember I told you I believe there's like something on with that land and the lake itself. I don't believe that's anything like that in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I do believe the family as a whole has been shit upon by society and where they are in Texas, obviously this tiny remote town within Texas, and the shutting down of the slaughterhouse and caused a huge thing for that family. And obviously they did not have a lot of money, as you can tell by their clothing and the way their home looked, that it was basically a free-for-all and we ate what we ate kind of deal. And you know, you can tell that you see a lot of cars on the family property. And that's probably because people coming down to the property asking for directions. You know, people see these mofos jumping in there and they're like, okay, why are these people on my property? And then they're like, well, we're hungry, so let's cook them up. Serial killer is a topic. That's why I'm here. Ray of effing sunshine, thank you so much for continuing the gifted sub from Just a Thought. I appreciate it. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Ra, wanted to check in and say hi. I hope you have a great night. Excellent stream as always. Bubba is misunderstood. I mean, after all, he's only protecting his family. I agree, Leatherface Mike. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. I actually wanted to make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel film that explains why they are like that and why Leatherface is scared of people. You also find out why the hitchhiker lamps. Salween, the one, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. That's a good take on TCM. Yeah, there is a lot of abandoned cars in the backyard. Well, on the family hi, Neo. On the property, there is a lot of cars on that property. And most of the time, it's probably because these people stop for directions. But let's talk about the main crew that walk in, right? You've got this young couple, this young group of kids coming in. They're not really kids. They're adults. Let's get real. Here they are traveling in Texas. They're going to their destination. We see that there's some grave robbing happening, which, you know, it's Texas. It's in the 70s. There's nothing to do there, right? So you got a grave rob. And, you know, you have a family that has a history of mental health. I mean, obviously, look at all the family members in that family, right? Look at Drayton. He is obviously something wrong with him mentally. Nubbins, the hitchhiker, and look at Bubba, not just his disease on his face, but his mental health. Everybody hated Franklin. Do you go by Salween or Sam Hain? Because how I'm pagan, so we pronounce it Salween, but I know Americans and most English-speaking people will pronounce it as Sam Hain, as it's spelled. So I just want to make sure I am calling you the right name. You love the remakes? I thought the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica and it was great. I was just talking about that with her. Oh yeah, we were. Ray and I were just discussing how much we hate Franklin. They own a garage, so they would have lots of cars. They do own the garage, right? The gas station, which is also an eatery inside of it. So yeah. I'm pegging too. He whined around, but that's what made the top cover. That's what made Franklin him. He did, but you know, that's what did make. But Franklin was annoying as fuck. Franklin made it okay to put things in the top cupboards. Cereal. I pronounce it Sam Hain on purpose. I play a character, so I'm supposed to be an embodiment of Sam Hain, the holiday, just pronounced differently, entirely up to you. So Salween is the holiday on October 31st, Salween. And yes, there are people that date Sam Hain. So whatever you like. Technically that they'll make a witch, so Where did that just go? I suppose pegging isn't off the table. We do like our sex magic. Yeah. What was that? I missed it. What was that? So most people call me Sam. Okay, Sam Hain. Hi, Mischief Maker. Hello, how are you? How is your night? Sam for short. I will like to call you Sam. Autocorrect is a major pain in the ass. You meant to say limp. Damn, autocorrect. It's all good. Exactly. Do you think Leatherface and his family prefer meat eaters or vegetarians? I have to assume each tastes different. And if you eat a vegetarian, is that considered healthy eating? Professor, I would think that eating a vegetarian is healthy eating because they eat less trans fats and other bullshit in their diet and probably less sugar. However, I don't know how good they're going to taste because, you know, when you have meat that's fed specifically for certain things, their meat is usually juicy and tender and has more flavor to it. Yes, you can season, but I'm not talking about seasoning. I'm not really sure if a vegan would taste sour. The remake made a lot of sense backstory for it all. I like the remake. The whole franchise, their lore is all over the place. Wait, I can't English language spell shit the other way around. English, yeah. I'm just gonna call him a onesie. TCM. I'm pretty good, Mischief Maker. I can't complain. We've got new emotes, by the way, guys. We have brand new emotes over there. Nice, son. How are you, Moon? How are you? Happy New Year. Item received. Yes, Mischief Maker. About friggin' time. In regard to the remake where she removes the gun, do you believe she kept it in her nethers? I will tell you right now, I seen how big that gun was. If she kept it in her nether region, god damn. How did it not fall out? Eat the vegetarians but wrap them in bacon? You have to wrap them everything in bacon. Now, did you get the dry rubs for the TCM yet, Ra? No, I have not, Neo. Kegels, yeah, I understand Kegels. I understand Kegels, and I understand the bearings that they make to practice your Kegels, right? Because there are bearings, there are balls, there are weighted balls that you can use and up there, and you hold on to it for the day, and that's supposed to help strengthen that muscle, and I get that. But a whole fucking gun? Like a whole gun up in that pussy? I don't know about that. Hi, Black Dog, how are you? I don't know about that. I mean, there is a prison purse, but usually your prison purse is your anus, right? I'm good at home watching videos. Nice, Moon, nice. I got them and they are only okay spices. Much better rubs out there. I don't have them yet. If you eat a vegetarian, does that mean you're also eating healthy? I love my vegetables. Possibly. I believe it was all up in there. I refuse to have to walk back calling it her pussy gun for the last couple of decades. I believe the way she whips it out, I believe it was up there as well, but holy shit balls. Really? Really, Kratos? When did that happen? The prison wallet. Weirder things have been stored in there. Definitely talented, right? My mind goes back to Otis saying your wife's, oh my God, yes, I love Devil's Rejects. Cows eat grass and they taste good. Yeah. She must have been Sheriff Hoyt. Yeah, I like Sheriff Hoyt. I love him as an actor. I think that rub is meant for show, possibly, but there will be people using it. Mima! We are being rated, guys, by Mima the Geeky Granny. I love Mima. Welcome, guys. Yeah, and you just need to hold the barrel. It was a snub nose. Plus, she was walking with a limp. Yeah, it's Mr. Scott. That definitely does give a new meaning to conceal and carry, Mischief Maker. You're not wrong. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Recently learned that one. ReAnimateHer only do if under doctor suggestions. Really? I'm good. It's Chris from the island. Oh, hey, I thought the name sounded familiar, Chris. Black Dog. I thought the name sounded familiar. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Hi, Papa Bill, Rogue, Mima. How are you? I have to hop off. It was great to see you, Sam Hain, and nice meeting you as well. Enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully I will get to slash you later. Yes, if you see the behind the scenes of the remake show a lot, Yeah, I watched the gun show. Oh, thank you, Papa Bill. I'll always follow Geeky Granny, right? Because she's amazing. Welcome, guys. Welcome. If you don't know me, I am ReAnimateHer. I am a horror content creator. Tonight, we are not playing games. It is my just chatting called Coffin Chat. And I have a little raid video for you guys so you know what you're in store for those of you who have never been here. Hold on, he's just putting a dick in my hand. I am not having a dick on my forehead.
It's a raw cockacorn. It's a cockacorn.
Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is black.
You're not getting cake, bud. No.
How does that keep happening? That blue bitch. Who the fuck is that blue bitch?
You piece of fucking hobo Joe bullshit.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris.
Oh! I just got a fucking zombie sniper fucking ball shot.
Oh, Jesus Christ, mischief maker. Right across where that is, that's where the gate is to escape.
Oh god.
I punched him in the fucking dick. I punched him in the dick. I got so excited when I was able to punch Drayton in the dick, or, you know, the cook. Hey, if the game makes me scream, you know it's a good game. I had a great holiday and Happy New Year. Yes, that's awesome. I'm glad everything was good and you had a lovely holiday and everything. What were you doing in stream today, Mima? Let's talk about that. What? Oh, Mr. Scott, son of the maniac, says hi over on YouTube. Actually, son, he should be able to see your chat right there. Drayton's dick, the cook cock, Sawyer sack. Yep, the Sawyer sack makes mental note not to wear a cup around raw. Yeah, I don't know. Would a cup hurt? I have never wore a cup before, so if someone was to like punch it or something like that, does it shift up or it just protects you fully? You don't get any kind of like cup burn. Is cup burn a thing? Oh my lord, raw and dick violence is my fave. Yeah, you would need to wear one around me. There's a lot of names for what we refer to as line cook dick, cup burn. But I would think about it. If you're wearing a cup, I'm sure that the ridges touch the skin. So if someone was to like punch you there or kick you there, you would get like cup crush is a thing. Yeah, I would think you get some like cup burn or something. I don't know. Crotch burn. No, not. I love my dick shots. Hopefully it has a gasket or something. I don't know. I've never really looked at one. Now I am interested. Hey, babe, do they have a gasket? Like it has like a buffer so that if you do get kicked or hit or a baseball goes flying at it, it's like a cushion? Is that a thing? I'm not going to kink shame. Cup crush? They do. They all have them? Look at the things that we learn in this stream. We learned today that getting kicked in the dick with a cup on can cause a possible cup burn. But a cup is padded. I don't have boys as children. I had girls, right? So I have no idea. It shifts sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't protect you. We don't kink shame at all. Ra's gonna Google this after stream. I'm just gonna go up to Heavy and be like, show me these things, because Google is already watching me. My Google history is not good. It is such an educational stream, Mischief. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Mima, the Geeky Granny, please do so. She is amazing. I love her. Right there is her image. You can see that there. Inside the chat, there is a link. Please click on it. Go follow. Go check out her bio. See some VODs. If you enjoy the vibe that you get when you look at her channel, make sure to hit that follow button and go back into her stream. Also on the top of Twitch chat there, if you see it, there's a little heart. You can click on that and then it'll auto follow Mima, the geeky granny. Your morgue is still on cooldown there for 9 minutes, monkey. But it is such an educational stream. Rod, do you have any more thoughts? Oh, I do, Deadwalk. I do. I'm so off topic. It's not even funny. Thanks. I have to go hit the pillow and Google cups now. Me and my sweet screams, darling. Thank you for popping in here with your community and having your community hang out. I appreciate you tremendously. Have an amazing sleep and be careful about those cups and Googling. I am not going to model them for you. I think Papa Bill needs to model them for you now, Meemaw, since Papa Bill did bring it up. But yes, I do. So where was I? I don't remember what I was saying before the amazing Meemaw, the geeky granny, came up in here. I don't remember what I was saying, but there's a ghost face twerk for you. I always get off topic and then I fucking forget what I'm actually discussing, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We were discussing the family. We were discussing how I believe the family is the victim in the movie, even though when you first see it, you don't see that. Like, you don't see that at all as the family being the victim. You were saying how much Monkey sucks. And yes, they have a rubber outside, but when you are fighting and get kicked in the junk, it actually fucks you up pretty good. Interesting take there. I didn't know that, Serial. I scrolled up, so I wanted to see what you said. But yeah, the family in TCM is definitely a victim. As we know, not all of the TCM family is immortal. We do know that Grandpa, though, that mofo was like 136 years old in part 2. We know Grandpa is mighty old in 74. I mean, just look at him, just by the look of him. And maybe he was in the sun too much, but you know, the only one besides Grandpa that I find is immortal would be Leatherface. And again, nowhere in the lore does it say Leatherface is immortal. Nowhere, so I don't want to hear that. However, the wounds that he receives in 1 and in 2, and then down the line, they should have killed him. Grandpa is magical. I think it's the blood that brings him back. Ache, how are you? Twitch is going bonkers for me. I'm here, though. I just can't see video on anything. I'm not having any issues. Like, I'm looking at my stats. I'm sorry that you're having issues, Ache. I'm on TikTok and YouTube, so if you don't want to be on Twitch and you actually want to see video, you can hit me up on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. You were talking about character Coochie stashing a gun. That is the remake. Yeah, she whips out that gun from in between her legs. Yeah, okay, it's a smaller gun, but still, you got to think of all the ridges on a gun. I mean, I gather if you're trying to survive for your life, you're going to shove anything up there, especially if it gets you the fuck out, right? No uterus cups, FNBS. I got kicked. What? What? Crossing that once, and my lady junk was so damaged that I couldn't wear anything but PJs for a week. Oh my God, she Kratos. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, we were talking about the vagina gun, the cat penis gun. Yeah, again, no kink shaming. But I mean, I would still think that would be kind of horrific getting it all up in there. He got dried out like a grape and turned into a raisin. Yeah, that almost goes with the whole gun thing. It shifts sometimes. The grandpa was actually in the first movie. He was supposed to be like, yeah, in the first movie, he's super old in the first movie, obviously, and blood brings him back to life. You notice that when he starts sucking on the finger, right? Blood brings Grandpa back to life, basically. It gives him that movement, that momentum that he's able to do. Knives? Oh, Jesus Christ. Having a knife up in there? No. I don't even know. Not unless it's the goddamn sheath. Vaginas are dangerous. You never know what they got up there. I know what I got up there. But yeah, anywho, Grandpa is old as fuck, right? So we see in the first one how they have Sally and they hold her head over the bucket, and Grandpa just keeps dropping that mallet. That mallet's got to be super friggin' heavy, and Grandpa is super old and fragile. Out of the whole family, like I say, I believe that Grandpa and Leatherface, there's somewhere in their bloodline that makes them basically immortal. Now, Grandpa is supposed to be like 100 what, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 is 74, and then what, in the storyline 12 years later is when part 2 comes, and they're living in the underground underneath the carnival, right? So Grandpa is still there in that one as well. So he's like 130 something years old. Hello, Stony. How are you? He was old to begin with, son. Like, he was old to begin with. And then it wasn't until the part 2 where we actually know that he's about 130 something years old. Are the family descendants from Vlad the Impaler? Are they vampires, right? Well, if they were, Drayton and Nubbins wouldn't have died. Drayton is dead, right? So he dies in part 2. Nubbins dies in part 1. And we do know with the other family line that they get shot up in the house. So it's a 5-pound mini sledgehammer. Well, that's kind of heavy for an old as fuck grandpa, right? But yeah, I think they're the only two that I would say that are immortal or just long living. Maybe not immortal per se, but long living. For some reason, their bodies are able to age as much as they have aged. Yeah, but when you're old as fuck, 5 pounds is heavy. I agree. We've got an ad over here on the Twitch side of things, 1 minute and 24 seconds, and we'll be right back. There should be a good origin story of the grandfather. We may actually get one. We do know quite a bit about Grandpa, though. We do, in the fandom, we do know quite a bit about Grandpa. I'm going with the vampire gene becoming less dominant as the generations continue on. Probably, and probably like inbreeding. We're in Texas in the 70s. You know? It sucks that the guy that played Bubba in the original, Gunnar Hansen. Yeah, that's super sad. And ads do suck. I understand that. But yeah, Gunnar Hansen, may he rest in peace. Hey, now that means I'm really old. See, I help Ra with a useful. You do. You definitely do, Deadwalk. Hills Have Eyes on a micro scale. Yeah, Stony. I love Hills Have Eyes. I like the remake as well. Yes, the inbreeding screws up the bloodline. There's a pun there, but a. Yup. You would have to think there's got to be some sort of inbreeding throughout that family line, because the entire family is fucked. You know what I mean? It's not just one person that has an issue. The entire family has an issue. I mean, and by the entire family, we really only get to see Grandpa, Drayton, Nubbins, and Leatherface. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. My favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Rest in Peace of Jeff Burns. Deluxe Retro Gaming 2, welcome to the crypt. Thank you very much for the follow. We are discussing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 fandom. Texas, where your brother is your cousin and your dad's your mother. Mischief Maker. You're only as old as your beard is long, heavy. Yeah, Stoney, I agree. I definitely agree. I believe those kids, those young adults walking on the property, I don't believe they deserved their deaths. However, you know, the family did feel attacked. Bubba's first reaction when he sees everything going on, you can see that he's definitely in panic. You know, I love the scene where he slides open that slide open of that door and bumps the guy over the head. I fucking love that. That was just so great. I recently saw the one with Bill Moseley for the first time. Are you talking about part 2, Lux? Part 2 is my favorite. Are you older than Raw Heavy? Yes, Heavy is older than me, not by much, by a year. Texas, where the men are men, the women are women, and the sheep are scared. Yeah, such a good scene. It is. Doesn't it give you chills when you see that scene? I loved how they made the storyline for Chop Top being in the Vietnam War. Technically, the reason why they did that was Chop Top was supposed to be in the first film, but they moved him out of the first film. Yes, part 2 with Stretch, you know, that's a really good one, Deluxe, because you get to see Bubba fall in love for the first time. You see him become sexually aroused in part 2 where he's taking his chainsaw. Yeah, we all know what he's doing with that chainsaw. He knows what he's doing with that chainsaw. It's cheesy, it's dark humor. There's a lot of fun in part 2. Definitely on a different level than part 1. And if you haven't seen part 2, if you haven't seen part 1, definitely go and see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. What Tobe Hooper did for the cannibal slasher genre is amazing. And the whole atmosphere is creepy, it's scary, it has you on edge. It's definitely a good view. She's kind of addicted to it. I love the game, Stony. Love the game. Chainsaw, yeah. My main is Hitchhiker. She gets scarier. One aspect of TCM that I didn't pick up on until way later was how the editing of the movie is done in a way to always throw you off. You can never be settled, making a stronger theater experience. TCM greater than Halloween, 110%, even though they're on their different levels, right? But I will agree with you. You don't notice that until much later, after how many viewings. You know, when you first seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're not sitting there saying, oh my God, that camera angle and the way they do this and the way they do that. You're sitting there in total, utter shock because this is something you've never seen before. And I'm going back to the 80s. I'm sure you youngins that are in here that just seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, it didn't hit the same. And I feel bad for you guys that a lot of these classic horror movies will never hit you like they hit us back in the day. I agree. You have to watch it a few times to digest it. You do. And like I said, when I seen it for the first time, it blew me away. Like, I was literally blown away and I fell in love with the film. I loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre even at that time. And was really excited to see the progression of the franchise. But the first watch, you're just like, holy shit, your eyes are glued to it. You're uncomfortable throughout the whole atmosphere because it is uncomfortable. I want to see the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Top notch, is a masterpiece. It is. I'm from Wisconsin, so I get the real experience with all the Ed Gein. Yes, Deluxe. Yeah, you live an hour from where he lived. Kind of scary. Hi, Jamie. How are you? And thank you for the follow over on TikTok. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, Tobe Hooper was saying how he got the idea for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is he was in a hardware store. It was Christmas time and he was standing next to the chainsaws and he was thinking, how could I get through this crowd quickly? And well, the chainsaws were right there. He went home that day and literally wrote basically the whole thing, like all the characters and everything, right in one sitting when he went home that day. Obviously with the screenwriting and the rest of the people adding their tidbits into the screenwriting and stuff. But it's definitely a good film. And he did Deadwalk 100%. The way he filmed everything, the sounds in the movie as well. When anyone text messages me, it's the camera sound from TCM. That sound puts you on edge. You know what I mean? That high pitched like squeal sound and the flash, it really gets you. It does something to me. And sounds do things to me. So that sound really, it gets you. And when you're watching that movie and that happens, you're just like, oh my God, like kind of fucking goosebumps going on. It definitely is, Ray. The nice thing about the early slashers is that most of the directors from those films had no budget, so they had to rely on being creative, 100% serial, to get the story across the way they wanted to. Yeah, that's what's awesome about those movies. They're all low budget. It's up there with Law and Order. Yeah, the dun-dun. Yeah, I have used that one in some of my YouTube videos. I loved your stream, my little satanic girl. Wish you nice souls at the new year. Thank you, Behe. How are you? Happy New Year. Long time no see. The tuning fork scraped across the piano wire, I believe. They were creative as fuck. Like seriously, in 1974 for that film. And most of the guys went to the same school and helped each other on set. That they did. Knowing you know, knowing from watching all the documentaries, obviously later on in life, because they didn't have these documentaries back in the day, you get to learn that the smell was horrific, and the smell actually stuck into a lot of their clothing, their hair, because they used real meat. They used things from the slaughterhouse, from a veterinary area as well. So they did use innards and all sorts of nastiness. And in that Texas heat, because there is no AC, right? They filmed it in like on set, like there, no AC around. Gross. I'm going to look poopy here, but I've only seen the first one and the Jessica Biel remake one. It was so hard to find horror movies back on the TV. 100% she Kratos with a whopping 5 channels. If you ever do get the chance to watch all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm going to tell you to watch TCM 1, 2, 3. Then of course the remake, and then you get the new timeline of the Hewitt family, because they change lore after a few years, after a few chapters, and they become the Hewitt family and not the Sawyer family. It's a bunch of crazy shit that goes along there. The bones were real too. Yep. Some of them were human. A lot of them were animal. Hello, Don Biel. How are you? No, I don't own the game, Behe. I've been playing a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's really what I've been playing because I fucking love that game. The game is bloody. It's great. And I like that the game itself brings its own lore in, which is separate from the films. The fourth one, oh, you mean the one with Matthew McConaughey. I'm doing good, thank you. Just ate some lunch and now I am resting. Nice, Don Peel. What'd you have for lunch? We are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre fandom, what I believe and what I think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So if you're just joining us, I was born in 2005 and I have watched all the TCM movies. Right on, Road, right on. I'll have to hunt the movies down. I'm level 73. Nice. I'm not that high yet, Kratos. Don't have much time to play. I wish I did. An Australian burger with chips and a drink. Nice, Don Peel. That sounds good. What's an Australian burger? If you wouldn't mind breaking it down for me. We're talking about barbecue anyway. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? But yeah. And I don't believe those kids, those young adults deserve to be murdered the way they were, but you know, you're trespassing on a family home that they all have a mental illness. They are cannibals. ReAnimateHer. You know? CSN. Oh wait, can I play with you? When I play, sure. I'm not playing tonight though, Behe. Tonight is my Just Chatting where I talk about Texas Chainsaw, well, talk about horror movies. Hello, Hulk. How are you? HT the Great 356, welcome to the crypts. Thank you for the follow. Beef, bacon, fried egg, beetroot, grilled pineapple, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise. That sounds delicious. Wow. That sounds good, Don Peel. We have a burger like that here. I can't remember what the hell it's called. I don't believe it has pineapple on it though, or beetroot, but it has all of that, and it's at the Satellite Diner. I can't remember what it's called. The Kazoo? I think it's called the Kazoo Burger. It is, and very filling. It sounds like it would be very filling. Or I could visit when work, slightly slow down for you, or grab them next time I see Ra. Not much further of a drive. Yeah, I have them all. I think I even have them on digital, Kratos, where I can just send them to you. Starlight, that's it, babe. Thanks. What would go on a ReAnimateHer burger? Oh my God, and you're right. Oh, I'm right. Look at that. Oh, I what I like on my burgers, so it would be like two, I like bison, so it'd be 2 bison burgers with a sweet bourbon sauce with some mayo. You can throw some bacon on there if you like, if you want some bacon, but I have to have onion rings on it. It's my favorite. Bison burgers are really good. They are really friggin' good if they're made right. Yeah. I miss working at a meat market. I have been away from there for about a year now. Oh, wow, Hulk Smash. Bison burgers are good. I haven't had a moose burger yet, she Kratos. I need a minute, right? right? Oh, you are HT the Great. Oh, awesome, Road Crusher. Thank you for hopping over on the Twitch side of things and giving me a follow. I appreciate it. He didn't mean to say you are right. It was spell check. He meant to say you are white. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie. I have a question to ask you. The sound effect that used in the beginning of the film, I'm not sure what it's called, Dunpeel. However, the sounds, they utilize things like a fork and the piano chords, the piano wire, to make some of the sounds. I would have to actually look into my deep dive notes from my TCM that I did for CCOH, because I did talk about it there. I don't know what you would call that sound effect, but it's the camera sound, right? That's the sound effect that you're discussing, that you're asking about. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning gets a lot of hate. It was a pretty good film. I didn't like the Leatherface movie. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. I hated the fact that they changed the lore and how they misled you with the bigger dumb boy not being Leatherface. Like, what? I got nothing. Yeah, the camera sound, yeah. Supposed to be the camera flash sound. Mine doesn't make that sound, though. No, it's not going to, because that is a created sound. I have that as my text message, so when people who don't have their own sound message me, that's what goes off. Hello, Blood. How the hell are you? Happy New Year. But yes, it's supposed to be the camera flash and that squeal that happens, and then the flash, right? Yeah, that sound is pretty amazing. This sound gives me chills every time I hear it. That's why I have it as my text messages. But yeah, it's a great film, and I do believe, you know, with TCM 1 and TCM 2, they do stay within the storyline, right? But you do see them at the Carnival underground tunnel that I don't know how they made their home in the underground tunnel in part 2, but they did, which is weird. And I do love the skinning scene in part 2. That was really cool. So cool. I would love a copy of that sound. I might be able to send it to you, Dunpeel. They also used part of that sound in Silence of the Lambs for Bill's night. Yes, they did. In Silence of the Lambs, where basically Buffalo Bill is based off of the same killer. I don't like to call him a serial killer, because he really isn't a serial killer. He's more of a grave robber than he can be considered a serial killer, is Ed Gein. I want to have that as my text message alert alongside with Michael Myers coming out of the shadows. Nice. Ro, you are so right. I have never thought about that. Well, how did they make their underground tunnel in part 2? Because they are under an abandoned carnival, right? I don't pay for viewers or followers or bots or anything like that. I'm not gonna put out money for any of that shit. To lick my chode. But really, how did they make that? How did they do that down there? I don't know. I would love to know, though. You love not being a mod? Very true. How was your new year, Blood Rose? How are you doing? How is things? We are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you're just joining us. Just the fandom. Now, with Leatherface, Bubba, we know, so his name is also Jedediah for Bubba's name. We don't learn that until later. But then you also have Thomas. And Jedediah and Thomas are two names within the timeline of Leatherface. Welcome, Dragon's Lair. Welcome. We are being raided. Thank you for getting rid of the bot. Oh, of course, Dunpeel. We don't like those bots here. Gone Retaker. Hello. Good evening. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Dragon. How are you? I'm tired, but otherwise doing good. I am doing fabulous, Blood Rose. Fabulous. We're discussing one of my favorite franchises ever, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. For those of you just joining us on the raid over here on Twitch, I am ReAnimateHer. I am a horror content creator. And tonight is my Just Chatting Coffin Chat, where we're discussing the fandom for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. Hello, Schmentor. How are you? Hi, CKY. How are you doing? Here's a little something about this stream in case you guys want to come back. I'm going to forewarn you. Hold on, he's just putting a dick in my hand.
I am not having a dick on my forehead.
No, it's a raw cock-a-corn.
I know people over on TikTok can't see this. Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror. And this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic. And that is black.
You're not getting cake, bud. No.
I do need to add this thing. Cockamamie stream, yes.
Keep happening? Yes. That blue
Mentor,
bitch. Who the fuck is that blue bitch? I will have to warn
you. We talk a lot about...
Fuck you, mother! Fuck you, you piece of fucking hobo Joe bullshit! Oh! I just got a fucking zombie sniper fucking ball shot.
Hi, Ilio. Oh, Jesus Christ, mischief maker. Right across where that is, that's where the gate is to escape.
Oh god.
I punched him in the fucking dick. I punched him in the dick. Yeah, right, Kratos. I was going through that. You regal monkey for sure. Poor dicks. Yeah, we do like to talk about balls in this stream. There's a lot of dick talk in this stream. I don't know why. We just like to talk about them. So just be forewarned. If you ever do come back in here, be prepared for that. So yeah, there's actually numerous names, Dunpeel. Bubba, Leatherface, Jedediah, Thomas, almost, and depending on the timeline. Thinking about baseball. Balls. I have merch. Yes, that's what she was saying, is that you see a lot of you there. Well, I guess you and Monkey should buy me merch. That stupid wheel shows itself all the time. I hate that. Dragon, what did you do today in your stream? By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Dragon's Lair, please do so. There is the little visual of Dragon's Lair in the chat. There is a link that you can click and you can go check out Dragon's Lair's About Me and VODs. You can hit that follow button. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that follow button and then go back in. I could talk TCM all night, but I must head out. No worries. It's Mrs. Scott. Thank you so much for being here. I love your guts and I will slash you later. It was okay. I really should watch the other movies, but I have only seen the original movie and the remake. Part 2 is my favorite. You're missing out. You're missing out, blood. Funny you're talking about this movie tonight. I just created a poster of this for yesterday. Nice, Ilio. It's one of my favorite movies, and it's one of my favorite franchise as well. Me buy you merch from Raw Monkey. Man, I'm not fluent in monkey. Oh, Mischief Maker wants the Wheel of Terror to happen. All right, we got this. Well, I hate the wheel. Part 1 definitely is awesome. Part 2 should be seen if you haven't seen it. Remake is great. I enjoyed it myself. Let's see what this Wheel of Terror brings us. Mischief Maker gets a free Streamloots chest. Ha ha! That's what that is. Have you seen the area of Texas where they filmed? Yes, I haven't personally been there, Dunpeel. I've seen numerous videos. I've seen documentaries of TCM that show the site that they filmed from. And I've seen friends who live in the States. I've seen their pictures. I personally have never been there. I would have loved to go, but I have never been there myself. I've seen things, yeah. You almost made me choke on water, cereal. You hate this? I hate this. I do hate that wheel, but not tonight. Not tonight. That wheel has been good. Part 2 was 1986, right? I do remember watching that one. Shit! Monkey! Yeah, it's somewhere around there, Ilio. Part 2 is one of my favorites. It's darker, a darker comedy than the first one, obviously. We get to see a lot of firsts with part 2. You saw the videos online too? Yeah, it would be a place I would love to visit. I heard they opened it. It's a restaurant now or something like that. I have to go get ready for bed. Always a fun time chatting with you. Great stream tonight. All right, Ray, thank you for being in here. I hope you sleep like the dead, and I will slash you later. Give me that bubble cock, Wendy. What? I was trying to get Mischief Maker. It's a restaurant. Nice. Yeah. I think, you know, with everything that went on in the first film, seeing it for the first time, you don't really get to see the victim side of things when it comes to Bubba. You do get to see his family berate and bully him, because they berate and bully him in the first one like there's no tomorrow. Basically, Drayton does a lot of that himself, demeans him, talks down to him. And then once you watch it a couple of times, do you get to see the victim side of things? And I do know, you know, people argue with me because I say the whole family is a victim. The entire family as a whole is a victim, because people trespass, society not having the mental health help, not being able and being included with society. Those damn adults walking on their property, you know, going into their house, walking in. Who walks into somebody's house? That's how you do get murdered, right? When I saw the movie, I can imagine young children and teenagers sneaking into movie theater and have regretted it ever since. Do you know O'Neill used to go to the movie theater where he was at and basically walk around like hitchhiker, and he was removed from the theater and asked not to return because he would walk around scaring people. What happened to the teens? So, you know, they stopped off at that house, not the family's house, right? So they're driving, they do their thing at the grave site, right at the cemetery. They all pile in the vehicle. They go to the old family home, and basically they stop. Now, if they never stopped and they just kept on moving on, you know what I mean? They would be okay. Yeah, O'Neill is the shit. I just bought my... Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That's someone saying I need to see the video if it exists, that is. I thought I would like to know that my account name on Discord is... Oh, okay, okay, Blood. Thank you very much for letting me know. My friend, his father saw all of the Friday the 13th movies in the theater, and he was 7 years old when he saw TCM in theaters in 74. Nice. Yeah. Where do I find the chainsaw soundbite? Do you mean you want a chainsaw soundbite or the camera flash? Like that sound. I have it as my phone. I got it from a site called Zedge, but you can probably find it really anywhere. I am actually going to take the one off my phone, and I'm going to take the one off my phone and send it to Dunpeel. But this is the sound. No. Shh. Yeah, that part, that's the sound. Yeah, no worries, She Kratos. It's part of Gun Stream Package. Oh yeah, you can do that as well. Thank you very, very much, Dunpeel, for flashing us them tiggle bitties. Enjoy your lurk, She Kratos. Thank you very much, Dunpeel. Happy New Year to you, and lots of loves and hugs right back at you, darling. Yeah, you're fucking getting there. Tobe Hooper framed Texas Chainsaw as a mentally ill family lashing out at society. Daddy did, bozo, after losing their meat processing plant. Yep, to automation. Just curious, is Coffin Chat based off of Coffin? I don't know who that is, Pantera. So probably not. Thank you very much, Deadwalk. But you have so much going on here. I have a lot going on. The chainsaw sound, if you guys want the actual chainsaw sound, I can put it in Discord, like the chainsaw, because Gun Media, I do have their stream package where you can get the chainsaw, you can get the emotes. It's the Halloween Kit Kat. I have all of that. I can put it in the Discord or send it to you. The camera sound you can really get anywhere. But yes, Bozo, you are right. And, you know, the family did get screwed because of the slaughterhouse, the meat plant going automation, and grandpa not having a job. The family has to fend for itself. And, you know, Bubba having, not only did he have a mental illness, but he also had a physical illness as well, which forced him to, you know, be shunned by society on top of, you know, being shunned by his family because he is abused by his family. And to grow up that way, and now we don't know how really Leatherface grew up, but you can just imagine from the first film how his family treated him and how society treats people that have a disability. It's so in the beginning, babe, of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when they're taking the pictures, that's what they show. So when the picture, the flash goes, that's the sound and the flash of the camera. So we all call it the camera sound because that's how we hear it in the movie. I'll show you later. I never thought about the poor family situation. The Coffin Cats are a psychobilly band, and they have a song called Chainsaw Massacre. I thought that maybe the phrase Coffin Chat was a spinoff of their name. No, but that's really cool to know, Pantera fan. Thank you for popping that into the chat there. I'm actually going to go and take a look at them. Coffin Chat is, I love coffins, and it's my just chatting horror hangout. I sure can imagine. If Justin Trudeau can pretend he's a human, then the camera flash can sound how it wants. We do have an ad break happening over on Twitch. Yeah, so when he was 1 year old, his mother and father left him with his grandparents to see Night of the Living Dead in theaters, and both his grandparents are still alive. Very cool. But yeah, the whole family as a whole, like when you, again, I'm repeating myself, when you see the movie for the first time, you're not thinking that. You're not thinking the family is a victim of society. You're not thinking that Bubba is a victim. You're not really thinking any of that. You're thinking, holy shit, what am I watching? It's not until numerous watches after the fact, and when you study a film, I have a habit of studying films when I see them. And it's always been like that since I was little. Fangoria magazine was my Google, you know what I mean? You like Abby? I like Abby. You should check out the Coffin Cats. Their whole thing is Halloween. They are my favorite band. They are close family friends too. I just met them recently. Nice, Pantera. I will definitely check them out. I was thinking that the door to go upstairs was amazing and I wanted one. Who didn't think that was fucking amazing? Like, the door slam is pretty friggin' scary and awesome. Pantera Fan 7, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. It was Google. Yeah, my Fangoria were my way of researching films before the internet ever came out. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Fangoria covered, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th. They covered tons, and that was my thing of going in and reading them, because Fangoria back in the day was a lot to do with the behind the scenes and the special effects, that what they used to talk about all the time, and then interview people there. I have a disability, and most people that find out that treat me badly, so I understand what you were talking about. Right, Blood. And in the first one, TCM, you actually see that, and you can see, you know, that society, especially in 1974, you got to remember, 1970s, there's no mental health. Mental health did not even fucking exist. People with handicaps of any kind were treated like pariahs of the system, especially a poor family growing up in Texas, of all places. You got to take that dynamic into effect. And now you can understand why the family freaked out, and especially Bubba. You see Bubba completely freak out through some of the scenes in the house when people are coming in, and especially the chick coming in. You know, he's freaking out because he thinks his family is being attacked because he doesn't really understand or know better. I think your other chat went down, Ra. What other chat? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Which one, Serial? The scene that made me feel really bad for him is when he was looking out the window. Well, you think about it. Mentally, he's not grown up. Oh, it was just being a foss. Mentally, he's not all there, right? And his family, I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that happened to Leatherface and his family beforehand, because we do see all those cars, you know, all of those cars. And then if you take a look when she gets into the house, into the bone room, you definitely see numerous, you know, bones, a couch made out of human bones, and then you have a chair, and then you have a chandelier, and you have all these different things. So you do know the family has a history of cannibalism, and you know that right off the bat. You may not see them eat any of the family, but the house itself, like when you get into that house, the house itself screams cannibals. You've got a lampshade that is a human face. So you definitely have to, you know, see that when you come in, because I've had people say that, how do you know that they're cannibals? Well, the first thing is when you walk into the motherfucking house, they got furniture made out of human bones, and then they have a whole kitchen dining room set up with a human face. You've got the lampshade made out of human skin. What do you think they do with that meat? Yeah. Can I have that? You could try to make one for sure. No, they don't waste anything. They're just like hunters, right? When you go hunting your meat, these unfortunate human animals walked on their property, so it was free pickings. Back then, people with all kinds of mental health and disabilities were locked up in insane asylums. That's how the normal society runs their own town, like they're the only country in the world, and it's disgusting. Yeah, it does happen, Dunpio. Want a couch made of skin? Their couch was made of bone. You could probably make a couch made of skin. However, that skin would have to be treated. Human skin can be dried and treated just like cow leather skin, right? It's just not as, there are things you have to do with human skin. To be fair, they might have just had the same taste in the home decor as raw, because my decor is on point with theirs. I've got a lot of bones. I don't have any bone couches, unfortunately, not yet at least, but to be fair. But yeah, you know, after numerous watches of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can kind of feel for the family. You know, feel that, you know, what society has done to them, and on every level. You know, poor, jobs closed down for them because they went to automation instead of still doing the slaughters with the sledgehammer. Having a family filled with mental health issues on top of physical ailments as well. So there was a whole bunch of shit against the Sawyer family in the first film. And again, your first watch, you're not going to get that. You're not. You're going to be like, oh my God, what the hell is happening here? This is awesome. After several watches and looking at the movie and kind of getting an understanding of the movie, you will get to see the victim side of the family. Just like in Friday the 13th, where Jason Voorhees and Pamela Voorhees are both victims of in their own right for that film. Well, my sister likes her voice. Oh, my voice, son? I don't like my own voice so much. It's so awful. Now I understand TCM, the movie, even more. Yeah, and there's a lot of lore to it. I mean, if you strip out anything from the film, like if you just strip out the fandom and you watch the film for the film itself, like take away all the fandom, it's a horror film. They're the villain family, right? That's and same thing with Jason, same thing. You rip out all the fandom because it's the fandom that really brings in the whole victim mentality. Tobe Hooper did not meant to make the family the victim of society, maybe, but not like a whole victim thing. But when you add the fandom from fans, it really brings a whole new aspect to the film when you're watching it. And then, you know, back in the day before full on Google and everything, you had like forums where people would chit chat about movies and stuff like that, or MSN chat, which I remember being a part of. And people would talk about the movies there before, you know, we had really anything like we have now. So there was a lot of fandom going on. And then that fandom helped fuel more of the storyline. So if you talk to different people that have, different fandoms, because there's a ton of fandom for TCM out there. There are people that bring in the comic book. I only do the actual movies. That's where I bring in my fandom. I don't have the comic book. Oh, it's almost time there, Deadwalk. Almost time. I think I did pretty good staying on topic, though. And I liked all the characters except for Franklin. Yeah, everyone who worked in Texas Chainsaw Massacre did an amazing and awesome job. They really did. For what they had to work in, I did a coffee chat of horrors on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is up on my YouTube channel. We deep dived. That was my second deep dive into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. And we definitely get to hear about their blood-soaked clothing, how they had to constantly re-wear it because there was only one outfit, especially for Gunnar Hansen, and the same for Sally. So there was a lot of, wearing the same dirty, nasty ass clothing that smelled, the carcasses that they used in the film, the heat of in Texas doing the film. It's really disgusting when you think about what the actors and actresses went through in creating TCM. It is a true masterpiece of a film. There's not many films that I can say is a true masterpiece, but the way the filmography, the photography, the sound, the atmosphere for TCM is a masterpiece. And I hold it in the same light as the 1980 The Thing with Kurt Russell, because that one is also a masterpiece in its own right. The way the filmography, the atmosphere, the sounds, just everything visual about that film to me is a masterpiece. I'm doing good, Speedy. How are you? And occasionally dealing with my ass. Good times. How you doing, Gamble Man? Victims, aren't we all? I don't believe I'm a victim of anything. And add another fan film. You hear Leatherface's grandmother, and she says that boy was so sweet and nice, but his brother turned him into a monster. And that could happen too. I love Escape from New York. Love it. The Thing is one of my other favorites. Making miss living with some of the crew. Making me miss living with some of the crew. You're doing well. I'm glad to hear that, Gamble. I love Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Both are great films. Love them. You're going to Camp Blood, ain't ya? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse. That it does, Dr. Herbert West. Hello, Sailor Darling. How are you? We were just discussing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I keep forgetting where I'm leaving off from. Yeah, I can imagine. Plus, it's a horror movie. Not only they had the visuals to create the fear, they had to use all of the scenes to create that fear. Well, the way Tobe created the scenes where, there's not a lot of gore. If you rewatch TCM #1, there isn't really a lot of blood and guts in that film. You think there may be, because of how he filmed everything and how he did it with the off-screen killing and the sounds of the chainsaw and the screams. Your brain created a whole scene that never existed in the movie. How you doing, Ace? Good evening. Which the only reason why they got an R rating for TCM was because of that. I was going with sense of touch, smell, hearing, and taste. Oh, yes. Ugh, yeah. Well, yeah, that was be gross. That set was disgusting. Like books. I don't know if the chat's working well for Ake. I did say that we're over on the YouTube side of things, but I'm not too sure. Hello, Demon Omega. How are you? But my fan films are probably going to be in audio, no footage. I hear screams. I'm not sure where those screams are coming from. Maybe the kids next door? I am not sure. Well, that's cool, son. I think fan films are great. I think it's a really great way for fans to give back to the creative community. They can be done with a camera, too. I watched a Halloween fan-made film that was created with an iPhone. It was awesome. I am compelled to watch the franchise now. I only saw the first one. Oh, Schmedtor, you definitely need to see them. See, I'm not going to lie. It does get crazy. It's my second favorite franchise. However, it does get crazy down the line. It does get crazy. 1 and 2 are my most favorites. Like, number 2 is my favorite. 3 is not bad at all. It gets a little weird with the one with Matthew McConaughey, and then you get the remake, which the remake is really good. If you watch them all, make sure you get the remake in. After that, you get another timeline with an extra added lore, because the Sawyer family now becomes the Hewitt family, and Leatherface's mom gives birth to Bubba inside a slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse guy then drops the baby off into a dumpster, and then the Hewitt family rescues Bubba from a dumpster and raises them as their own. You do get to see a little bit of Sawyer in there as well, but not as much. Yeah, the timeline gets a little fuckery. Then there's a film that I think it was done in 2017 or 2019 called Leatherface. Watch it, but don't take that into like the lore, because it's just not. Then they have the newer Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 by Fede Alvarez, which I fucking loved. It is supposed to be a direct sequel to part 1. I know there's a couple of direct sequels, so part 2 of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a direct sequel. Also, part 3 of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is considered a direct sequel as well, even though it's the third one, but it was supposed to be a direct sequel. That's because Kim Henkel took over the story and completely fucked everything up after part 3. Plus his idiots writers as well. The bodies in the morgue are trying to get out, Raw. I think they might be. I need to give them some more chloroform. The freezing hasn't taken them over yet. The kids are being chased by Leatherface and Johnny. And yeah, Johnny, Sissy, the video game, those characters never existed in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise timeline. However, Rex, Johnny is basically, I think, Rex, because, and Sissy could be any of the females from the Hewitt family. If you think about it, Baby Sawyer, you have a whole bunch of characters that Sissy could be actually pulled from. Johnny, I want to say, is more of like a Tex than anything. I love the game. Then Nancy, Black Nancy from the game, could be the grandma or the old lady in the remake. You guys remember the old lady? She resembles the old lady. However, none of those characters are technically from the franchise at all. I love the game. What is your name? Mammal Milkers? I am not really sure what your name is there, so I apologize, but I do love the game. I am a family main. I hitchhiker mostly. Then Black Nancy, the cook, and Leatherface is who I also play. Oh, the Wolf of Motown. How the fuck do you say your name? Is that Mamma Milkers? Oh, Mommy Milkers. I gotcha. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. I'm like, Mammy Milkers? Mommy Lickers. Don't forget Texas Chainsaw 3D. Yeah, and there's also a lot of fan films. But Schmedtor, I would definitely check out the franchise. There, again, a fuckery is afoot. It is one of the most convoluted timelines in the horror genre when it comes to franchise films. So it does get some fuckery afoot, but they're good. They're good. I enjoy them. I'm not a fan of Leatherface. The one called Leatherface, it's a 2017, 2019. I don't remember what year it came out. And it's not my cup of tea, but it's okay. Suck the nipples. How have you been? I have been good. Haven't seen this stream in so long. You've been busy. I am fabulous, doing good. Tonight is Coffin Chat. Well, every Wednesday night is Coffin Chat, where we talk about my fandom of horror movies. You guys actually get to pick the topics. That you would be. Yes. Are we going with Lady D for mommy milkers? But yeah. Oh, we should think about the next topic for Coffin Chat. What do you guys want to talk about next Coffin Chat? What movie? So far, what we have discussed on Coffin Chat when it comes to movies and my fandom is we talked about Friday the 13th, 1980, part 1 with the actual copycat killer of Jason Voorhees. That was one that we did discuss. Our second Coffin Chat was Hellraiser part 1, my fandom. And the third one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. So my most favorite, my number 1 is Friday the 13th, numero uno. Jason Voorhees, I love him, but Friday the 13th is my numero uno, and then it comes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre as my second. Friday the 13th was still up and running with dedicated servers when I last saw a stream. Yeah, it's still up. Dedicated servers, not so much. That you did. Silver Bullet, Cujo, Jason is a deadite, Sailor, I love you, but do not say that. Fuck you, Serial. See? Dr. Herbert West is like, kill her, mommy. Kill her because you just called Jason a deadite. I'm glad you're doing good, Demon Omega. Did what with nipples? One of the names over on Twitch is Mommy Milkers. I would love to talk about Halloween, the original 1978 film. We can definitely put that up. I have some fandom of Halloween. We can time them both out. Mikey of Legend, welcome to the crypt. Thank you so much for that follow. I hope you're having a good night. Right, Deadwalk? We can do Halloween. I actually have plans for Coffee Chat of Horrors to redo some of my older CCOHs in my new revamped way, and Halloween is one of them. This Sunday, guys, right? This Sunday, Coffee Chat of Horrors is on at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We're deep diving into Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. That is our first CCOH of the new year, and it will be CCOH every Sunday after that at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. But the first one for this year is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Why the fuck did I get sworn out when Sailor said it? This toxic vagilinity around here is bullshit. I love that. Ra, is Sailor winding you up? I can blast her in the face with a shotgun on Lethal Company next time she plays if you want. You have Lethal Company? You guys have to play with me. Very, very soon. Very soon, She Kratos. You love Tucker and Dale?
Great, but the screamiums will kill ya.
Pat, thank you so very much for the 31-month resub. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Mwah. How are you feeling? Yeah, so this Sunday, this Sunday, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is going to be dissected live on stream. You'll be able to catch me on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, all 3 areas for CCOH. And it's a great thing to go with because we just talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Tucker and Dale was heavily inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so it's perfect. Nice. Yes, pulls out the shovel. I love Lethal Company. I just don't have a lot of people to play with. Get a stool and say that to my face, or lick the lint out of my hair. That's so disgusting. But yeah, we are coming to that time where we're going to be ending the stream. Hi, I see you. How are you? Happy New Year to you. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love the fact that, after numerous watches, you get to really see the victimization of Leatherface and the family. And I do enjoy the lore that goes on with the family as you go through the franchise. I'm going to highly recommend you check out part 2 if you haven't seen it, 3, 4. Actually, just go down the whole thing, watch the whole entire franchise. Watch the remake and watch the 2022 film as well. They are worth the watch. Some of them are worth watching more than once, and others are just worth a one-time watch. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I've never seen it, and I never heard of the movie before. Oh, my effing Lord, Dunpeel. I know you're in Australia, so you guys kind of get screwed. Try to find Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It is a horror comedy. It is a perfectly blended horror comedy, just like Shaun of the Dead. You know, horror comedy are really hard to create because either you do too much horror and not enough comedy, or you do too much comedy that it's not really a horror and it's meh. And then you have it where it's kind of cheesy. Only very few films can actually bring in the horror and the comedy element so it just mixes smoothly like, you know, mayonnaise and ketchup. Butcher Boys, soak that one in, fans. Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of gross, Sailor. But yeah, we will be discussing that on Sunday. Is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil? We'll be deep diving into that at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. Definitely go to Amazon, see if you can find it. I do not think it's going to be on Netflix, but hey, stranger things have happened. Mayo and ketchup. I like mayo and ketchup. I like mustard and mayo. I like mayo and barbecue sauce. I like mayo. Ew, nobody wants to hear that shit, cereal. Nobody. Our next live stream will be Friday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm not sure what the hell I'm going to play. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Lethal Company, Dead by Daylight, Control. I have no idea. I'm not sure yet. Haven't decided what I'll be playing on Friday. Thursday, however, we'll be watching in the Discord at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time, the Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. We will be watching that in the Discord. So if you guys want to join me at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time for the horror movie, you are more than welcome to. If you are in the Discord but don't have the movie role, just tag myself or a Crypt Keeper and we will get it to you. Texas Chainsaw Massacre for episode 2 of it is good, or isn't it that my series on my channel? What do you mean? I think you should play Friday the 13th night. I want to play. So what night? What night? And I will play it. I don't really game in the evening, right? Wednesday night is my Coffin Chat. Friday daytime is my gaming stream. Saturday is my gaming stream. And then Sunday morning is also my just chatting scene. Friday night, I have to see what's going on Friday night, and we should definitely play. Hello, Nerdy. How are you, darling? How you doing, Nerdy, darling? But I didn't tell you guys, but Heavy and I are starting to work together to get healthier. So we are going to be working out together in the evenings when I'm not streaming. So I don't know. It's about an hour workout so we can hold each other accountable, because we have a gym in the other side of the murder basement. And in order to be able to get healthy and to get back onto that healthy track, I need to be held accountable, and so does Heavy. So we're both going to be working out together to hold each other accountable for our health. Don't you guys already do that? All the sex together for exercise? Well, that's cardio, Serial. That's cardio and stretching. That's a totally different thing than working out. I burn a lot of calories when I play Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nerdy darling, how are you? Yes, The Butcher Boys, written by Kim Henkel, a sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. Well, yeah, Kim Henkel was a co-writer, right? So the gonna be light metal 45 cal, right? The Dead End? How are you? How are you? Happy New Year. I'm sorry, I meant to say I have on my channel the series. Oh, okay, son, I got you. I did start doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode on my channel, on my YouTube channel. I believe I only have part 1 up. However, I do have part 2. I haven't uploaded part 2 yet. But I started doing a series on some of my favorite movies and what I think about them, what I felt like when I first seen them, etc. That you can definitely find them on my YouTube channel. I don't do anything with Foss. Blah. I'm okay, thanks. Happy New Year to you as well. I appreciate that. Happy New Year, Nerdy. I hope you're doing well. If he shaved the beard, he would lose 50 pounds. Timeout Serial. Whenever you are playing TCM, DBD, and Friday the 13th games, feel free to tag me. Dunpeel, I will tag you. If we play Friday night, I will definitely tag you. I'm doing great. I have an idea for a backstory for Chop Top series or film. Nice, Nerdy. Did you know that Bill Moseley actually has a film that goes off of part 2? He had an idea. It never happened, but he had an idea that was a sequel to part 2, basically. It would have been 3. Hello, Billy the Cook. It would be Saturday morning for you, since it would be Friday night for me, so Saturday morning for you. I have no idea what we're going to be playing Friday or Saturday, to be honest with you. I'm actually just going to go off by what I'm feeling like. We might do some Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We might do some Control. Control is a story mode game, kind of based in the same as Alan Wake. Or Lethal Weapon, Lethal Company. That sounds better than Leatherface 3. Definitely. That's 4 titties. Yeah, I'm down for whatever, whenever. We're crazy. I'm just making sure I'm rolling back here. You have to ask Deadwalk the timeout, Serial. He's no longer a mod now, Sailor. But yeah, Nerdy, there was actually Tobe Hooper's son was going to make the American Massacre. I don't know if you guys heard about that. American Massacre never got created. However, it was supposed to be part of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre chapters. Tobe Hooper's son was actually, it was 2009, I believe. He was in the process of creating American Massacre, but it never came to fruition. Yeah, you're down for some TCM, dressing up as Bubba? I know, I got my big Bubba right up there. I should dress up in his clothing. Yeah, it was never completed. Yeah, ads. Drag me into it. No, actually the film was made. It wasn't fully made, son. They never finished it. They never finished the movie. Thought on the remakes, especially the newest one. Well, the newest one is a direct sequel, Billy, to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the remake with Jessica Biel, I loved it. I love the remake 100%. I know you do, Nerdy. That is awesome. Yeah, so now I can say whatever I want without having any effect on Ra or her streams, just like the good old days when I got to go off on trolls. That is very true, Serial. I watched a interview with Tobe Hooper's son talking about American Massacre. They did start to film some of it. However, it was never fully finished. Money also played a huge role in creating and finishing the film, and it still has not had a release. There has been numerous, I want to say, fan-made films off of American Nightmare, and as well as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you go and take a look at Steve Merlot's The Sawyer Massacre, that starts before the actual 1974, so you can check that out too. The Beale one I like so much, and R. Lee, I fucking loved him. I loved him hidden, and I really did love the remake with Jessica Biel. That one is a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The 2022 one by Fede Alvarez is a direct sequel to part 1, not a remake. The Sawyer Massacre, so do I. I had Steve Merlot back in the day on my CCOH show on an interview. I really like his films. If anyone wants to have a bad time, give Sailor Moon a call. She's so nasty, even Bubba puked eating her. Best horror remake by far. It is. Ads can eat a bag of uncircumcised peens. They definitely can, Nerdy. They definitely can. Can you please put the name of the fan film and the new one of the movie in chat? Yes. Okay. So the fan film is called The Sawyer Family Massacre. You can catch it on YouTube. Steve Merlot is the director of that film. Then there is the new one, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a direct sequel to part 1. You can find that on Netflix, Dunpeel, because that is where it was released on, was Netflix. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. Dennis Hopper, so strange, right, Hidden? It's really weird that Dennis Hopper actually jumped in with that one. Dennis was laying with the chainsaw was so fucked. The playing with the chainsaw, yeah, laying with the chainsaw. I don't remember him laying with them. I love part 2. It's my favorite out of all of the chapters. I love 1. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing like 1. However, part 2 is just so awesome. You get to see a ton of other things in there. And what I really like seeing was Bubba's first love with Stretch. You can love your chainsaw, but don't love your chainsaw, right? Okie doke, got it. Thank you so much. No worries, Dunpeel. In May, Bubba is coming home. Thanks to Flo and VG. Thankful for Merc Fam. Yes, that's awesome. The bridge scene is so fun, right? Where he's wearing nubbins. He's wearing Nubbin Sawyer on his body when he is on that tow truck and they're like chainsawing their way through that vehicle. I do believe he would have had sex with one of those chainsaws. Leatherface or Dennis? I will see this. I loved Lefty. He was my favorite character in part 2. I bet chainsaws would give it wouldn't give good head. It would give you a lot of teeth. Yes, ha. I see that. I bet chainsaws would give bad head, too much teeth. Some people like teeth cereal. Bonnie the Nubbin Sawyer onesie. I do. I fucking love Nubbins. I love the hitchhiker. And in part 2, not a lot of people were aware that Leatherface is wearing Nubbins. Okay, so in part 1, towards the end, Nubbins does get ran over by a reindeer. No, he gets ran over by a big semi truck, right? And then Leatherface gets hit with a wrench. I believe it's a wrench. And then he ends up, slicing his leg open with his own chainsaw there. And they scrape up Nubbin Sawyer and his mutilated body, and he literally wears him as a suit. He straps him to the front of his body. So, and it blew my mind how many people did not know that Leatherface is wearing Nubbins on his body. I talked to a lot of people about it. I'm like, I thought, and then I would mention how I thought it was cool that Leatherface was wearing Nubbins on him, so Nubbins can still be a part of the massacre. And people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, did you not notice the head that is on, the second head that is on Bubba and the rest of the body that is on him? I know it's kind of dark and it's a little hard to see, but he's there. I do love Nubbins. It's sad to see Nubbins die, and we don't get to see him in the second one, but we do get to see what Nubbins' brother, Chop Top, right? Which I fucking love Chop Top. And Chop Top and Nubbins are supposed to be twins. That's insane. Was this it at the end of the first? Okay, so at the end of the first film, Dunpeel, when Sally is running, she's running for her life. She busts out the fucking window. She's just running balls out, right? She's down the road running, trying to survive. A truck driver and a semi truck comes barreling down the fucking road. Nubbins gets squashed like a fucking pancake. And, the truck driver comes out to try to help Sally. Shit goes awry. The truck driver hits Leatherface. Leatherface falls to the ground, cuts his leg with the chainsaw. And I want to say, I believe it's his right leg with the chainsaw, I think. And then, of course, the ending scene, Sally is bloody and crying and laughing in the back of a pickup truck. Then part 2 comes, which is a different opening than part 1. But when you see in part 2, in the beginning of part 2, where they're on the road, on the bridge, they're in a tow truck, and that's Chop Top and Bubba. And Bubba is out on the vehicle, and you can see him, doing his movements, and you can see Nubbin's body on him. It's quite dark. However, there is an extra head, and you can definitely see 2 arms. And that's in part 2. They should have done that in Pet Cemetery, want a baby onesie, get a Gage onesie, right, nerdy? That's your favorite scene from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Zach? Nice. Funny how Bubba didn't go after the truck driver. Because the truck driver really wasn't a threat to him, if you think about it, nerdy. They only went after people that went on their property. And that's what you see in the first one. All the vehicles that you see in there, you had to think about it. The families didn't get murdered at the gas station, right? They got murderized down on the family farm. You can see his pouch as well. Hey, Ed, how are you? Originally, the hitchhiker was actually supposed to be in part 2 alive. I don't know how they would explain that. Yeah, well, Chop Top was supposed to be in part 1, but they rewrote it after the fact and then put Chop Top in part 2, and they basically say that Chop Top was in Vietnam, right?
Oh, hello, creep.
But that's all in the as you watch the films. You would think once she got away, he would go after the slow truck driver. You maybe, but again, the truck driver really wasn't a threat to Leatherface at that point in time. I mean, you would think he would go after him, right? Just like you would in Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. You would think Jason would have murderized the fucking punks on the streets of Manhattan instead of just kicking their goddamn radio. You think he would have murderized them because he is a juggernaut of death, but he left these motherfuckers alive. So you would think the same thing as well. But yeah, the idea revolves around how he got kicked out of the military. My idea was that he was serving up casualties in the mess hall. That would have been a good idea. Bill Moseley actually had an idea for a film, basically a sequel to part 2. So part 2 of TCM. Okay, I get it now. Yes. Now I need to watch the other TCM film in the franchise. I have all the Halloween movies that I need to watch, along with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream, and many more. Nice, Don Peel. Well, yeah, you would think, like I said, in Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, he's a juggernaut of death, that he would have killed everybody in his path, but he didn't. And the only thing I can think of with Leatherface not going after the truck driver is that at that point, Leatherface didn't see the truck driver as a threat, where he's seen the other people as a threat. It is. So we are going to quickly, the best Jason movie. We're going to quickly see what we want to do for next Coffin Chat. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you guys want to talk about Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Evil Dead, Gremlins, Tales from the Crypt? What do you guys want to talk about? I usually give you guys the Hatchet. I fucking love Hatchet. Victor Crowley. Lots of awesome lore in Victor Crowley. Yeah, I need a 2022 sequel. I definitely do, nerdy. I am hoping we do get it. You should do a discussion on fucked up horror movies. I know a lot of them. What do you guys want to chat with? Nightbreed. I love Nightbreed. It's one of my other favorite monster movies. Rawhead Rex. Another Hatchet. You guys want to discuss my fandom of Hatchet? I like Hatchet. I love Victor Crowley, and I have the comic books. It is such a good franchise. I know I need to watch Zombie Ass. Was thinking maybe Critters or Ghoulies, something not. I love Critters. You know I love Critters. I love Ghoulies as well. Starting a new horror movie bucket list. I did this Halloween 2020. I watched horror movies for 31 days. Nice, Don Peel. Let's do a poll. Yeah, Zombie Ass, babe. You're not gonna like it. I'll tell you that right now. And yeah. Predictions, sub only, manage poll. Here we go. New poll. Coffin Chat. Next stream. Ghoulies. Critters. Hatchet. Nightbreed. All right. Duration. We're starting the poll prediction. So you might like it, babe. I don't know. You're probably not gonna like it. Hi, Honest Gamer. Evil Dead. Oh, we can add that too. Let's do a poll over on YouTube side of thing. How did I do a poll here last time? I know I did a poll. Oh, there we go. We're gonna do ghoulies, critters. Everybody gets to vote. Everybody gets to vote. Hatchet. Halloween. Oh, it only allows me to do those ones there. All right. You guys have a poll? Porkies? Yeah, I'll be back. Gotta peg out the laundry. Not a problem. We're just going to do the vote for the next Coffin Chat. As of right now, we have a tie. We have a Hatchet and Halloween. If you guys have not seen the poll up top on the chat, click on it and click on to vote. You have less than 3 minutes to vote on the next Coffin Chat. We can definitely add Evil Dead or The Thing, Steve, to one of... we have lots of Coffin Chats. We've got a lot of Wednesdays in the year. Porky's is great. Porky's is a great movie. ReAnimateHer. Let me know how I did. Let me just see here. I finished The Face of Goliath. Oh, nice. I will, Honest Gamer. I will. I haven't looked in Discord yet. Animal House? Animal House is good as well. Porky's is a hell of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Almost every hand you've ever shaken has had a dick in it.
Basically, Porky's taught me the most important message as a young man can learn. Don't stick your dick in strange holes unless you want something bad to happen to it. Respect your cock. Yeah, I wouldn't, definitely on that one as well. Yes. Okay, so, let's get out of that. We've got a tie between Hatchet and Halloween. We definitely have a tie between Hatchet and Halloween. Ghoulies on YouTube side. Well, we have a tie. Hatchet and Halloween, and then Ghoulies. So the next 3 Wednesdays are actually going to be Hatchet, Halloween, and Ghoulies. And then we'll do Critters. So let's write this down in the Discord real quick. Let me just get here. Let's do all right, so we are gonna do Hatchet, Halloween, Ghoulies, and Critters. There we go. I have never yelled at a character so hard in my life as I did when I yelled at the gym teacher. Let it go, you savage pig of a woman. All right, so that's the next Coffin Chats that we're going to do. And let's get that up there. I like Shaun of the Dead, my favorite movie. Carlos, did you see my CCOH deep dive into Shaun of the Dead? You love the office scene after that? Oh my God, the office scene is a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. Well, how can you not laugh at that fucking scene? Especially with all the men. View the results. We've already viewed them. That's good to go. All right. If you haven't seen it, so Carlos, on my YouTube channel, if you go to the playlist Coffee Chat of Horrors, you will see in December, I did a CCOH on Shaun of the Dead. It's a deep dive into Shaun of the Dead. You can check that out over on the YouTube channel. If you go to the Coffee Chat of Horror playlist, I have a lot of deep dives into horror movies that I do. And it's all under the Coffee Chat of Horrors. And any horror movies you disliked at first but came around on. Oh, Stormy, that's a good one. Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to get back to you. I'm gonna actually write that down. Horror movies I disliked but rewatched and enjoyed by Stormy. I just wrote that down, Stormy. And I will think about that because I really have to think about that. You hated Halloween 3? Well, I still do. Never mind. I love Halloween 3. I've always loved Halloween 3. I thought it was great separation from Halloween and Michael Myers. Oh, I'm really gonna have to think about that, Stormy. I'm sure there's plenty. I'm sure there is plenty that I just don't know off the top of my head. I will think about it, and my next stream that I see you, I will have an answer for you. I have wrote it down. But we're gonna get into our credit side of things so I can end this beautiful stream. And let's get our credits rocking and rolling. If they work tonight. For you, it was Jason Goes. I still don't fucking like Jason Goes to Hell. The goddamn Silver Shamrock jingle. That shit gets stuck in your head all the time. Thank you for the crowd cheer, babe. Thank you guys so very much for coming in and hanging out with me on your hump day night. Thank you for making Coffin Chat such a fun stream. I really enjoy discussing horror with you guys and just talking about it in general. Our next Coffin Chat is next Wednesday evening. We're going to be discussing Hatchet and Victor Crowley. We're going to discuss all 3 chapters and what I think about Victor Crowley. I love the franchise. It has some really good lore to it. Thank you for being here very much, Deadwalk, Steve, Brian, Billy, everybody, Son of the Maniac over on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out over there and on here on Twitch. Thank you very much for hanging out. Deadwalk, Serial Killer, Stormy, Quindy, Botan. I hear more screaming happening. Sailor Moon, Honest Gamer, Zacho Green, Maeve. Thank you guys for coming in and chilling with us. Trying to scroll up through all the chat here so I can make sure I get everybody. Nerdy Hillbilly, Ed, Hidden Troubles, Dunpeel, Maeve. I thank you guys for hanging, and I already ended the TikTok side of things, but thank you, Dead End, as well. Mima, the Geeky Granny, and Dragon's Lair for the raids. Thank you so very much for coming in and dropping us with your community. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Be good out there. I will see you Thursday night in the Discord for Thanksgiving, and then I will see you Friday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time for a live stream, a live gaming stream here on Twitch and possibly on TikTok. Have a great evening, guys. I will slash us all later. Bye.